Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Welcome to the session. Can you hear me? If yes, please type yes in the chat box. The chat is open now. Thank you, Vishal. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you, Dana. Thank you very much for your confirmations. Welcome you all to this day 2 of DevOps course. Okay, let us stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. What's the plan for today? As you all know, as we all know that we are learning DevOps on AWS platform. As you all know, we are learning DevOps on AWS platform. So if you want to practice DevOps tools, if you want to perform hands-on of DevOps tools, you have to have an AWS account. I'm sure few of you are already having AWS account, but I'm also sure few of you are not having AWS account. Especially for the participants who are not having AWS account. So this session will spend some time. In this session, we'll spend some time. I'll quickly show you how to create a new AWS account. It is pretty easy. Participants, if you are not having AWS account, please go ahead and create a new AWS account. And then I hope you remember all the DevOps tools we'll be configuring and managing using Linux commands. If you look at the previous session notes, if you look at the day 1 PPT, all these DevOps tools will be installed and will be configuring on Linux platform. So on Linux operating system. So for that purpose, we'll be learning how to create it because we need a Linux environment to make ourselves comfortable with Linux. So I'll be showing you how to create a new Linux machine. I'll be showing you how to create a new Linux machine on AWS. And then we'll also learn how can we connect to Linux machine and we start working with Linux. This is our plan for today's session. As usual, before moving on to today's session, any questions from anyone? Please raise your hand. Welcome to day 2. Any questions? Please raise your hand. Good evening, Rajiv. We cannot hear you, Rajiv. Please check your mic settings. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Am I audible?
Yes, Rajiv, we can hear you. Good evening. We lost your voice again, Rajiv. Please check your mic settings. Good evening, Naveen.
Yeah. Hi, Sunil.
Good
Can you
evening,
hear?
Naveen. Yes, I can hear you.
So my doubt was like I have started learning AWS through Udemy some 1 year ago, 1.5 year ago. At that
Yes.
time, I created the account and I that 1 year free time has been expired.
Okay.
So so
You create one more new AWS account. Okay. You can create one more new AWS account with a new email address. Okay.
so I have to create another new email ID. With that, I can create a new account.
Yes, correct. Okay. You can use the same credit card or debit card. That's fine. Okay. Create
So
a new email address.
yeah, previously utilized email IDs we cannot create again,
You
right?
cannot create. If you log in with the same email address, you will be pointing to the old AWS account. Okay. That's the problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Farhan. Farhan.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, good
Good
evening,
evening,
sir.
Farhan.
Uh, uh, Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, your
Since
question.
long I was trying to talk with you. 2 years back, I was a previous participant
Thank you.
in AWS batch for 2021.
Thank you. Thank you, Farhan. Yes.
This is my first time of learning the DevOps.
Very good.
So, I was just trying to search the job as a AWS cloud engineer and DevOps.
That combination of AWS and DevOps is doing good in the market, Farhan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are in the right track. Please proceed.
Okay.
Any specific question you are having?
No, right now I'm asking the question.
Thank you. Sai Kiran.
Hello.
Good evening, Sai Kiran.
Good evening, Sunilana. Actually, I've been trained under you in 2021 for free in this AWS.
Okay, good. Very good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I got placed in like Oxtomate, which is located in Chennai, like startup.
Congratulations. Okay, so that AWS training helped you?
Yes, yes, very, very well, very well. I mean, like after the course, I've been very much tried to reach you for thanking you, but unfortunately, I cannot. And you have made one meeting also, and
Correct.
like coffee shop.
2021.
Yes,
Correct.
also I'm unable to meet at that time.
No problem, Sai Kiran. Good. Congratulations. Finally, you got the good news. You got the job. Okay. Now
Thank
you're
you.
still working in the same company?
Yes, I'm still working in the same company.
Is that
And
your first job?
yes, yes, that's my first job. Actually, I've
Oh.
completed my BTech in 2021 itself. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any knowledge regarding any technology. So one of my brother has suggested your
Good.
this thing. So for free, I have learned AWS.
Okay.
Really
Good.
helped me very well.
Thank you. Thank you. Continue learning DevOps. It will add value to your
Yeah,
current
yeah.
organization.
Actually, and I have one more doubt.
Tell me.
Uh, from then I've been I've been using that AWS account.
Mm-hmm.
So after some time, the bill is has been generated.
After 1 year, it will be converted, yeah, into a paid account.
Yeah, and I've been trying using the different email address also,
Mm-hmm.
and a different debit card and different debit card, but without activating from the AWS itself,
Mm.
it's been showing your account has been suspended. I don't know why it's showing. Like I've been using two other my friend's phone number also, and his own email address also, his debit card. But I
No,
don't
no.
know why it's stating like that. Without activating itself, it's showing your account has been suspended. Please read this mail.
Clear the history and try to connect from a different laptop, from a different internet
Yeah,
connection.
I thought the same. Like we're using the different internet.
Internet connection, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Even
Okay.
different laptops.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sanjay.
Perfect. So let's proceed. I'll have in one more interaction, few more interaction, few more participants. Let's proceed. Our plan is to create a new AWS account, especially for the participants who have completely directly jumping into DevOps without AWS. This will help you. We'll quickly spend some time creating a new AWS account. Okay. Now, very simple. Before going ahead to create a new AWS account, for especially people who are completely new to AWS, my first question, if anybody asks you what is AWS, if anybody asks you what is AWS, your answer should be AWS is a cloud. It's a cloud platform. AWS is a cloud platform, which is nothing but collection of services. Okay. To be more simple, it is collection of services. It's a platform which is collection of services. AWS is a platform which is collection of services. You may have a question, Sunil, what do you mean by service? Okay. So I have one question. What is Gmail? Participants? What is Gmail? Gmail is an email service provided by Google. What is G Drive? Google Drive? Participants? We all use Google Drive, right? We store our photographs in a Gmail account where you have an option of Google Drive, where we store photographs or images or documents. Google Drive is a storage service provided by Google. What is Ola? No, what is Ola? It's a mobility service. Mobility service. If you want to move from one location to other, it's no mobility service. And this service, like this, Gmail is an email service. Google Drive is a storage service. How do you use Gmail? Over the internet. If you want to use Gmail or if you want to use Google Drive, you have to have an internet account. So these services are provided. Participants, these services are provided by Google over the internet. Similarly, like Gmail is a service, Google Drive is a service, AWS is collection of services. There are more than 200 services. It's a collection of services. It's a collection of services provided in one particular platform. That is nothing but AWS. As simple as that. Okay, clear about this. So it's nothing but a collection of services. So don't think more about that. So AWS is a platform which is collection of services. Let's experience it. If you want to experience this collection of services, if you want to experience this AWS cloud platform, the URL is aws.amazon.com. The URL is aws.amazon.com. If you want to experience service, I'll show you how exactly the collection of service, especially for the first time who are experiencing the AWS, the URL is aws.amazon.com. So let me show you how exactly the collection of services looks like. So here I'm accessing the URL aws.amazon.com. I already have an account. Sign in to the console. As I already have an account, I'm signing in. If you want to sign in, you have to use an email address and the corresponding password. Sign in. I have logged into AWS My Defense. This is how AWS looks like. This is how the AWS looks like. A platform looks like. As I told you, AWS is nothing but collection of services. Your question could be, Sunil, show me where are the list of services. Now here we have the list of services. Can you see here list of services? Click on the services, you will find list of all the services. So these are set of services related to analytics. These are related to application integration. These are services related to blockchain. These are services related to compute instances. These are services related to containers. These are the services related to database. Okay, these are services related to mobile as well as front end. So these are services related to gaming application. These are services related to internet. Every platform will, it covers all the platforms. So participants, I hope I am very clear in explaining you in a simple way what is AWS. AWS is a platform which is nothing but collection of services. Collection of services together makes one platform. And I have shown you how the AWS platform looks like. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Log in with the email address and corresponding platform. Yes, you can use all the services whatever AWS provides. As simple as that. Now, for participants, we also use the services related to DevOps. So for participants, if you want to practice DevOps, you should also have an AWS account. I already have an AWS account, so happily I'm signing it with my AWS account. Newcomers, for the first time, if you want to create an AWS account, so the process is the URL is aws.amazon.com. Okay, and if you want to create an AWS account, you have to have an email address. You have to have an email address. You have to have mobile number. All of us will have an email address. That's okay. You should have a mobile number. If you're using multiple mobile numbers, better to use a mobile number which is linked to your bank account. You should have a debit card or credit card, whichever is comfortable. You use it. Debit card is enough. It's up to you. You can use debit card or credit card. To create a new AWS account, these are the three details required. You have to have an email address. You should have a mobile number. You should have a debit card. If you have these details, we all have email addresses. We all have mobile numbers. We all have debit cards with us. So as we have all these details, yes, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. You can go ahead and create a new AWS account. I'm showing you how to go ahead and create a new AWS account. The URL is aws.amazon.com. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in to the console. Sign in to the console. I have an account, so I can happily sign out. For participants, if you're not having an AWS account, here you'll get an option of creating a new AWS. All right? Yes, here you have an option of creating a new AWS account. Okay, so when you go ahead and create a new AWS account, you have to furnish all your details. You have to furnish your email address. You have to furnish your mobile number. You have to furnish your debit card. You can see you have to furnish your email address. You have to furnish your account name. You have to verify the email address. You have to verify the mobile number. All these steps I have clearly documented it in a PDF file. I'll be sharing it to you. Let me first go through the PDF file. Look at this. It's a step-by-step process. I have documented the step-by-step process of creating a new AWS account. This is step 1. Can you see here? We have step 1, step 2, step 3. You can see step 4, I have to verify the debit card. You have to verify the mobile number. Step 7, you have to select the plan and select the role of engineer. It's an 8-step process. Creating an AWS account is an 8-step process. I'm guiding you the each and every step. Step 1, to create a new AWS account, the URL is aws.amazon.com. Very important point of observation, AWS provides you an account, a free tier account for a period of 12 months. This free tier account is more than enough for us. To practice all the DevOps tools, this free tier account is more than enough for us. So go ahead and avail this free tier account. So the URL is aws.com, aws.amazon.com. You have to enter your email address, enter your login password. This will be the login password. Confirm your login password. You have to select an AWS account name, something like your name followed with your surname. So you have to provide all these details. Click on continue. Contact information. That's the first step we have provided. Email address. Step 1, we have furnished our email address. Step 2, it is asking for contact number. So provide your, AWS provides 2 types of accounts. Please observe. AWS provides 2 types of accounts, personal account and professional account. We are using AWS for our personal use. So if you get account type selected as personal, provide your mobile number, provide your right country. I have seen many participants providing India mobile number and country they're selecting as US. That's wrong. Please select the right, provide your mobile number, provide your right country. That's it. And step 3, you need to furnish your debit card or credit card details. That's it. Each step you have to furnish the corresponding details. So I am furnishing my card details. Please observe here. I have provided my debit card number. I have provided my expiry date. I have provided my card holders. Now I'm entering the address. It is asking you, do you have PAN? So I don't want to furnish the PAN details. I just clicked on no and verify. It will verify whether the debit card, what you have entered is correct or not. You'll get an OTP and 2 rupees will be deducted from your bank account as a verification whether the card details, what you have entered is correct or not. You'll get an OTP to verify your debit card. Next. You'll get one more OTP to verify your mobile number, one OTP to verify the debit card, one more OTP to verify your mobile number. Provide the right OTPs, provide the OTPs. AWS provides 3 types of plans: basic plan, developer plan, and business plan. Basic plan is free, whereas developers plan you have to pay $29 per month. Business plan you have to pay $100 per month. Free basic plan is more than enough for us to practice the DevOps tool. Select the plan as basic. Select your role and you're interested in specific technology. Just click on submit. Perfect. That's it, my dear friends. You'll get a message saying that the AWS account has been successfully created. You need to check your email. You'll get an email saying that the AWS account has been created. Once the AWS account has been created, you can happily sign in with your email address and sign in with your login password. That's it. That's it. You have to have an AWS account, and I have shown you how to create an AWS account. One more important point. Once an AWS account is created, participants, once an AWS account is created, it will take approximately, you'll get an email saying that you'll get an email saying that AWS account has been successfully created. Next, approximately it will take 12 hours of time to activate your AWS account. Creation is different, activation is different. Once an account is created, you cannot log in. When you try to log in your mail, you'll get a message saying that your AWS account is not active. You have to wait for a few hours for the account to get activated. So maximum it will take 12 hours for the account to get activated. So if you create now, you can start using it from tomorrow. So go ahead, create an email, create an AWS account, wait for 12 hours for the AWS account gets activated. Once an AWS is activated, you get one more email saying that your AWS account has been activated and you can start using the AWS services. Once you get that activation mail, you can go ahead and log in and avail and experience this set of services. So this document will be handy for you. So I'll be sharing this document, participants. Using this document as a reference, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. Perfect. Yeah. Am I clear? Very important point. If you're using a debit card, do not use a RuPay card. RuPay card is not accepted. Either the Visa card or MasterCard is accepted. RuPay card is not accepted. One more important point. The debit card or the credit card should be enabled for international transactions. By default, the cards will not be enabled for international transactions. Using a mobile app, you can enable that feature of international transactions, or you can talk to your customer care of your bank, whether it's an SBI bank or ICICI bank, whatever the bank it is, talk to your banker and make sure their debit card is enabled for international transactions. Keep that in mind. Your debit card or a credit card should be enabled for international transactions. Your debit card or credit card should not be the RuPay card. That's it. These are the only prerequisites. Using these details, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. Am I clear? My dear participants, please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in showing you the process of creating a new AWS account? I hope participants, if you're not having an AWS account, immediately after the session, please go ahead and create a new AWS account. Thank you very much. PAN is optional. If you want, you can provide the PAN details, or you can just say it as no. For a free tier account, PAN is optional. Thank you. Super. So please go ahead and create a new AWS account. Next, my point is all the DevOps tools, we will be installing and configuring using what commands? Linux commands. So participants, we have to be comfortable with Linux commands. We have to be comfortable with Linux commands. But how can I practice Linux commands? How can I learn? I need a Linux operating system, but my laptop is installed with Windows operating system. In Windows, I cannot learn Linux. I need a Linux operating system. Okay, so what I'll do now, I already have an AWS account, right? I Cloud Platform access. In the AWS Cloud Platform, I will be creating a Linux machine. Yes, you can. Whichever machine you want, you can create it. Whichever operating system you want, you can create it. So I will be creating a Linux machine on my AWS account, and from my personal laptop, I'll show you how to connect to this particular Linux machine. Okay. So what are we doing now? We are learning how can we create a Linux machine on AWS, not just creating a Linux machine. I'll also show you how to connect to the Linux machine. So once you create a Linux machine, once you know how to connect to Linux machine, happily every day connect to the Linux machine and start learning Linux. Perfect. We need a Linux environment. I don't want to format my Windows laptop. Every day we will be using Windows only, right? Just for learning, I don't want to format Windows operating system. My laptop is Windows, but I'll be connecting to the Linux machine. Very interesting. So in AWS Cloud, you can create a Linux machine. Whichever operating system you can create it. You can create Linux machine. You can create one more Windows machine. You can create a Mac operating system also. It's up to you. Whatever the machine you want, you can create it. Now I'm showing you, participants, I'm showing you the process of creating a Linux machine on AWS. Okay, let's do that. Anything you want to perform in AWS, first you have to log into AWS. First log into AWS. You know the URL is aws.amazon.com. Log in with your email address and login password. AWS is collection of services. As I told you, there are more than 200 services. Out of those 200 services, what service I have to use? AWS is a collection of 200 services. But Sunil, what service I have to use if I want to create a Linux machine? If you want to create a Linux machine, the service what you have to use is EC2. Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2 is a service which is used to create a Linux machines. So I will log into my AWS account. I will be selecting a service called as EC2. In this EC2 service, I will be creating a Linux machine. Ready? Okay, so let's do that. Let's do the process of creating a Linux machine on AWS. Clear about this? Okay. Yes, Farhan. Let's proceed. I am logging into my AWS. I have logged into my AWS account. AWS is a collection of services. Out of services, inside the compute section, we have a concept called EC2. There is a service called under the compute section, there is a service called EC2. There is a service called EC2. Select this particular service. Okay. This is how the EC2 dashboard looks like. This is how the EC2 dashboard looks like. Okay, go to instances. Instances are nothing but the machines. Go to instances. Very important observation. I already have this particular instance. Instance is nothing but a machine. Instance is nothing but a machine. I already have this particular machine. I'll be using this particular machine for the morning batch examples. In your case, you will have an empty, you will have no machines. Here I have one machine, but in your case, if you're a new AWS account, it will be 0 machines. Okay, perfect. Now, I want to create a new machine. Machine is nothing but instance. Machine is nothing but instance. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now, look at this. My question for you is, where are we creating Linux machine? My question for you is, where are you creating a Linux machine? Where are we creating a Linux machine? Obviously, your answer will be, Sunil, what is this question? It is very clear that we are creating a machine, Linux machine on AWS Cloud. Yes, your answer is right. But in which data center? AWS maintains their data centers across the world. AWS are having data centers in US, AWS is having data centers in Europe, AWS is having data center in Australia, Singapore, Dubai, India. To provide these services to all over the world, AWS have created the data centers worldwide. AWS have created the data centers worldwide. So my question is, in which data center you are creating a Linux machine? That's my question. In which data center you are creating a Linux machine? So my dear participants, can you see in the right side top, you can see the region is Mumbai. Please take a note of it. When you're creating a Linux machine, remember in which region you are creating a Linux machine. I am creating a Linux machine in Mumbai. Okay, as I am based out of India, for me, the Mumbai is the nearest data center. So remember in which region, stick to one region. Complete DevOps tools, DevOps learning, we will stick to one specific region and we'll execute it. So few examples don't do it on Singapore data center. Few examples don't create it in Sydney data centers. So when you're doing hands-on, make sure you stick to one particular region and continue the process. Remember in which region you are experiencing, you are creating the Linux machine. So remember, if you don't want, let's say you don't want to create in Mumbai, you want to create in Singapore, yes, you can do that. Right now in Mumbai, I have already one EC2 machine, but if you don't want to create in Mumbai, you can go ahead and create it in Singapore. Right now, I'm pointing to Singapore data center. In Singapore data centers, there are no instances. I have not created any machines. So you stick to one particular region and proceed that particular region. So I want to practice all my examples on Mumbai data center. So I'm selecting the data center as Mumbai. So I am creating a new Linux machine on AWS cloud platform of which data center? Mumbai data center. Data centers are also called as regions on a high level. Clear? So let's proceed. Let's proceed and create a new Linux machine. Let's proceed and create a new Linux machine. Yes, Srinivas, your question.
Yeah, we have only the data center in Mumbai, in our India, or any other places you have?
Hyderabad is also ready, I think, but it is not yet activated. Okay.
Okay.
So it probably in 1 or 2 months, the Hyderabad city also will come up. As of now, in India, it's only Mumbai available.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, Srinivas? Yeah.
Thank you.
Praful.
Evening, Sunil.
Yes, Praful, good evening.
Yeah, actually, I'm the part of your batch 234. So it was
Okay.
completed on last Friday.
Yes.
So I have two questions. Can I ask you?
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. So I think you haven't uploaded the sample resume on that particular batch, no?
Please email to support@logiclabstech.com. Okay. You'll get a set of sample resumes.
Okay.
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 Praful?
And another
And
one
there is a
question.
workshop
Yeah.
which is coming up in the
Yes.
February. Okay. Stay tuned. You'll get the updates in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Okay. You'll get the information about the workshop also.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And the second question is, can we apply for the DevOps SRE role? That is
Yes, you
site
can.
reliability engineer.
You can do it. You can. Okay.
Okay.
Use the sample resumes, pick up the
Thank you, sir.
important points, whichever you feel comfortable. There are DevOps projects which are already
Okay.
explained in our YouTube channel. Have you looked at it, Praful?
Yeah, yes, yes, Sunil.
Which one? The cloud projects which are uploaded in the
Dev-
YouTube channel. In
Yes,
our
yes. For
YouTube
now,
channel.
the last recording. Yes, yes. Logic Labs Technology YouTube
Correct,
channel.
correct. So please have a look at it. In the group description, in the YouTube video description, there's a documentation available. Okay. Understand that
Okay.
scenarios.
Okay.
Try to replicate that same scenario in the interview. Okay, Praful? All the best.
Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you.
Good evening, Ganesh.
Yeah, good evening, Sunil.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing well, Ganesh. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. What my question is, you're selecting Mumbai, right? But right now I'm staying in UK. So
Mhm.
can I use the same Mumbai location, or is there any another option to select for me?
You can select UK also. No problem.
Oh,
Doesn't
oh,
make difference. Okay. The
okay.
outputs results will be the same. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Ganesh?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Daniel.
Hello. Good evening, Sunil.
Good evening.
One of my friend in your past section, he had completed AWS course, so he needs proxy support. Will you provide?
For the interview?
Yeah.
No, we don't provide process.
No, 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 not for the interview.
For the
For the
certification,
certification.
send an email to support at Logic Labs. Mention that you need some support. Our team will reply to you.
Okay, okay,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you.
So what about you? You're planning to learn DevOps, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm planning to learn DevOps and AWS also. So
Okay.
I'm stick on it.
The AWS, I think,
And
new batch started by Mr. Ankit Narula.
yeah, I wanted to learn your class. So
Now
can I get a pass through
past
videos?
videos are very old videos. Okay.
Okay,
Close to 2 years back videos. I have stopped AWS. Please proceed with Mr. Ankit Narula. Okay.
okay,
Don't
okay,
wait for my batch. Okay.
okay,
DevOps you can learn from. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
If you have any plan to start AWS in next month or 2 months after?
No, as of now, no idea. Okay.
Okay,
I have no
okay.
plans. Right. Yes, Raju, hope your mic is clear now.
Yes, sir. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm already working for AWS Control Tower.
Very good.
Does this course help me in
Definitely.
understanding? Yes.
If
Okay.
you're already in the cloud platform, definitely this is the next course which you have to do it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
And
you're
the thing
great.
is, yeah, and we are using services like Elemental Live, media streamings, and
Doesn't matter.
live channels. Yeah.
I think
Our customer
you're mainly you're working on streaming servers. Agree?
streaming servers, yes,
Streaming
and
servers.
the network related security
No problem.
parts I'm
Okay.
working. Yeah.
This will add value to your resume and so you can switch to the core industry also. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Let's proceed. Now, plan is to create a Linux machine. Okay, very good. Now, my question that comes to your mind, if you're creating a Linux machine, the question that comes to your mind should be, what is the memory of this particular machine? Memory is nothing but RAM. If you're creating a Linux machine, what is the memory of that particular Linux machine? What is the hard disk size? How much hard disk this Linux machine is having? Okay, and what is the processor of the Linux machine? Every machine will have three hardware components, right? RAM, hard disk, and processor. Your laptop is also having these three hardware components, agree? Generally, we say that I have i7 laptop with 16 GB memory and 500 GB of hard drive. Agree? Every machine is having three hardware components. So if you're creating a Linux machine also, you need to think about these three hardware components. What is the RAM of that particular machine? What is the hard disk of that particular machine? And what is the processor of that particular machine? So you'll get the answer soon. Let's proceed and go ahead and create a new Linux machine. Okay, perfect. Launch instances. Click on launch instances. Perfect. Yes. Name of the machine. Sunil, we are creating a new machine. Participants, we are creating a new machine. You have to provide a name to that machine. I'm naming it as very simple. I'm naming it as machine 1. Very good. I'm naming it as machine 1. Okay. Next is application and OS image. OS image is nothing but the operating system. What operating system? I said Linux. There are different flavors of Linux. We have Red Hat Linux. We have Ubuntu flavor. We have SUSE Linux, isn't it? The different flavors of Linux, Debian Linux. The different flavors of Linux. I want to go ahead with Ubuntu Linux. I'm selecting an Ubuntu operating system. Okay. So the name of the machine is machine 1. I have selected Ubuntu operating system. Next. So it will ask you the version. In Ubuntu also, there are different versions, Ubuntu 22, 20. There are different versions. I'm selecting 22. But remember, when you're selecting the version and we are selecting an operating system, make sure that is eligible for free tier. Make sure that is eligible for free tier. There are few operating systems. Example, this particular operating system is not eligible for free tier. For example, this is Ubuntu server with Ubuntu operating system with SQL server already installed. So these kind of operating systems is not eligible for free tier. So make sure when you're selecting an option, make sure that is eligible for free tier because the AWS account what we have created is a free tier account. Okay. So I am creating an Ubuntu machine version 22.04. Perfect. Scroll down. What is the type of the instance? Interesting. What is the type of the instance? Sunil, what do you mean by type of the instance? AWS provides different types of instances. There are micro instances. Okay. There are large instances, extra large instances. Okay. There are different types of instances. There are different types of instances. You can see list of all the types of instances. You can see there are T2 micro instance. There is nano instance also. There's a very, very small instance called nano instance. There are T2 micro instances. Small instances, medium instances. There are different types of instances. Large instance. Let's say if I'm selecting T2 large, the instance type will decide the hardware configuration. Instance type, participants, instance type will decide the hardware configuration. Instance type will decide the hardware configuration. If I'm selecting T2 large, that means this instance comes with how much memory? Memory is nothing but RAM, 8 GB of memory, you can clearly see. And how many CPUs? 2 CPUs. These are T2 large instances, okay? I don't want this 8 GB memory. Those small instances are enough for us. I'm selecting the instance type as T2 micro. Very important, T2 micro is eligible for free tier. Large instances are not eligible for free tier. So don't think that it is free AWS account. I can use it for 1 year. So I can create very big machines of 32 gigabyte memory or 64 GB memory. No. This is a free tier account with some limitations. So T2 micro is a free tier eligible. So I'm selecting a T2 micro instance. What does that mean? Our Linux machine comes with 1 CPU, 1 gigabyte memory, and storage I'll discuss. So right now we have got the answer for our information. RAM is nothing but 1 GB RAM. Our Linux machine is a small 1 GB RAM. And how many CPUs? One CPU, one processor. And coming to hard drives, you'll get the answer soon about the information about the hard drive. Let's scroll down. Next. Very, very important for the next step. You can create a new key pair. It is asking you to create a new key pair. When you're creating a new machine, participants, it is asking you to create a new key pair. What is key pair? A key pair is nothing but a file with extension ppk. A key pair is nothing but a file with extension .ppk. Sunil, what is the use of the key pair? I'll show you. Let me first go ahead and create a new key pair. I will be creating a new key pair and I'll be saving that key pair somewhere in my desktop. I'm creating a new folder with the name Sunil. Yes. Sunil Devops. 6 p.m. This is my folder name. In this particular desktop 6 p.m. folder, I'll be saving my key pair. Okay. So create a new key pair. Key pair is nothing but file with extension .ppk. Make sure that it is a ppk. What's the key pair name? Key pair name can be anything. Key pair name can be anything. It can be any random name. Let's say I write it as, this is DevOps, right? This is DevOps. What is the batch number? 262. This is the batch number. That's it. This is my key pair name. What should be the extension? File extension.ppk file. Okay. Don't worry, I'll explain what is the difference between PEM and PPK file. As of now, I select it as PPK file and go ahead and create a new key pair. When you create a new key pair, the file gets downloaded. You can see PPK file is getting downloaded. Where I have to download it? In the desktop, I have created a new folder, right? Where is that folder I have created? Sunil DevOps 6 p.m. In this particular folder, I want to save my key pair. I'm done. I have saved my key pair. So please have a look at it. This is the key pair. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .ppk file. It's a small file of 2 KB. What is the use of this key pair? I'll explain later. So I have created a key pair. Scroll down. Take the default network settings. That's okay. Take the default network settings. That's okay. Don't disturb the network. Coming to configuration. Storage is nothing but hard disk. This machine comes with 8 GB of hard disk. 8 GB of hard disk. Okay. So it's 1 gigabyte RAM, 1 CPU, and 8 GB of hard drive. This is the hardware configuration. We are creating a Linux machine of Ubuntu operating system with 1 GB RAM, 1 CPU, and 8 GB of hard disk. Very good. This is the hardware configuration. And the key pair is already downloaded. Keep in mind. So that's it. And you can ask it will ask you number of machines. You can go ahead and create 10 machines at one single shot. But I don't want to create only one machine. You can see the quick recap of the configuration details. It's a Ubuntu operating system 22 version. It's a T2 micro instance. T2 micro is nothing but 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. And with a volume is nothing but a hard disk of 8 GB. That's it. I'm done with all my details. The key pair is also deleted. So take the rest of the values are default. Go ahead and create a launch instance. This will take just less than a minute for the machine to get created. Success, the machine successfully has been launched. Scroll down. Here we have an option of view all instances. You can see here, my dear friends, I have successfully created one machine. The machine name is machine 1, which is in Mumbai region. It's still in pending state. It will take less than a minute for the machine to get into a running state. It will take less than a minute for the machine to get into running state. Refresh. The machine comes into running state. Perfect. This is the second milestone of our today's session. So first we have learned how can we create a new AWS account. I have logged into my AWS account. Second thing what we have learned is how to create a Linux machine. So we are done with creating a Linux machine. You can see here the Linux machine is up and running in the Mumbai center. Mumbai data center. Perfect. What is the next thing we have to learn? The next thing what we have to learn, machine is running in Mumbai, but I am based out of Hyderabad city. I'm from different city. I'm in Hyderabad. How can I connect? Not only just creating, you should be successfully able to connect. Okay. Now let's learn the process of connecting to the Linux machine. Linux machine is somewhere running in the Mumbai data center. I am based out of a different city. Now, how can I connect to that particular Linux machine? What all details are required? When you want to connect to the Linux machine, we need a terminal. Terminal is nothing but you can write some commands. Terminal is a small software. You need a terminal to connect to the Linux machine, to communicate to the Linux machine, to start writing the Linux commands. We need a terminal. The terminal is called as PuTTY. What is the terminal we are using? PuTTY. So participants, PuTTY is the terminal. What is PuTTY? If anybody asks you what is PuTTY, a very basic one. PuTTY is a terminal using which I'll be connecting to the Linux machine, which is running in the Mumbai data center. So what you have to do, you have to download PuTTY in your personal laptops. Okay. So how to download PuTTY? So go to the site putty.org. Go to the site putty.org. It should not take this much time. Search in Google PuTTY. Go to the site putty.org. PuTTY is a free open source terminal which helps you to connect to the Linux machine over the network. Okay. Or go to this site. Looks like some problem with this particular putty.org. That's fine. You can go to a second site. Anyways, we'll be redirected to chairk.greenend.org.uk. Yes. This is a URL. This is a URL. In this URL, scroll down. Go to alternate binary files. Under the alternate binary files, select the 64-bit because my laptop is a 64-bit operating system. So download this putty.exe. So where I want to download it? I want to download in the downloads folder. Save. Yes. I have participants. I have just now downloaded PuTTY. I have just now downloaded putty.exe. Okay. It's an exe file, so we need to execute it. So when the moment you double click on it, the PuTTY configuration terminal will window, and here you have to provide the connection details. We have just downloaded the terminal. Okay. Once the terminal is ready, now PuTTY terminal is ready. What all details are required? Details required to connect to Linux. The details required to connect to Linux is you need to use DNS. Where to get this DNS? I'll show you. Select the machine which you want to connect. This is the machine which you want to connect. Select the machine which you want to connect. Click on connect button. When you click on connect button, can you see connected to your instance using the public DNS? This is your DNS. Copy your DNS. DNS is required. DNS is something like an IP address. So you need to have DNS. After DNS, you need to have a username. Username is this one, Ubuntu at DNS. This is the default username. Ubuntu is the default username for the Ubuntu operating system. Okay, and it will ask for PPK file. PPK file is nothing but the key pair. Participants, do you remember we have downloaded a key pair when you're creating a Linux machine? Where did you download it? I remember you have downloaded it in the desktop. In DevOps, participants, in the desktop. Do you remember the DevOps 6 p.m. we have downloaded the key pair. So you have to also point out to this particular locations. Keep that in mind. So these are the three details you require. You to connect to Linux machine, you should have DNS, username is Ubuntu, and you have to browse your PPK file. Let's use these details. Putty is already open. In the host name, you can mention the DNS name. Under SSH, participants, please focus here. Under SSH, under authentication, under credentials, okay, under SSH authentication credentials, private key is nothing but the PPK file. You have to mention where is your PPK file. Go to browse. My PPK file is available in desktop. I have created a new folder, DevOps 6 p.m. This is my PPK file that you have to point out. So PPK file is used for connection. As I told you, what's the use of PPK file? If you have the PPK file, that's a security. That's how you are authorized to connect. If you're not having a PPK file, even though you have, even though you have these DNS names and username, you cannot connect. So that's a security reason. So I have provided my DNS name. I have provided my PPK file. I have not provided username. It will prompt you. Click on open. Click on open. Are you sure you want to connect? Yes, accept. Login as. What is the default user? The default user is participants. The default user is Ubuntu. Am I successfully connected? You're getting a dollar prompt. You're getting an IP address 172.31.47.87. Is it the same IP address? Look at this. Which machine you have connected? This is the machine which you have connected. Look at the IP address 172.31.47.87. Are you getting the same IP address? Perfect. That's a proof that you have connected. This is the proof that I have connected. I'll repeat one more time to close the terminal exit. Okay. How can I connect to that Linux machine? If you want to connect to Linux machine, first step you have to open the putty. So putty is available in downloads. So open putty. Host name is nothing but the DNS name. Putty needs PPK file. Go to SSH under authentication, under credentials, PPK file. Open. Login as UBUNTU. Perfect. You have successfully connected. My dear friends, am I clear? Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in showing you how to create a Linux machine? Step one. Not just creating a Linux machine. What is the terminal we are using to connect to Linux machine? Putty. What is the importance of key pair? What is the hardware configuration of the Linux machine which we have created? How can we connect to the Linux machine? What are the details we need to use to connect to the Linux machine? I hope I'm very clear in explaining you each and every point which is required in today's session about creating a new AWS account, creating a Linux machine, about the importance of key pair, about the importance of the terminal called putty, and what are the details required to connect to that particular putty. Perfect. So like this, so we'll be whatever you want, you can create it on cloud and you can connect and you can start using that particular cloud platform. Thank you very much for your responses. Perfect. Once you're done practicing Linux, how can you disconnect the terminal? You can disconnect the connection by using exit. The terminal gets closed. The connection is now breaked. The connection is lost. You can again connect again, no doubt. So this is how participants, whenever you want, you will be connecting using a terminal called putty, and then once you're done practicing, you can disconnect it. Next very important point. After doing hands-on, after learning Linux on AWS, don't directly sign out. No, it's not a right practice. Don't sign out. First, you have to stop the machine. The machine isn't running now. Don't leave the machine running. You have to stop the machine. You can see, I have stopped the machine. So machine, you have to stop it. And whenever you want, you can again start it. So it's a good practice to stop it. Like how in the laptop, once you're done with using your laptop, you power off the laptop, right? Whenever you want, again, you power on. The same way, stop the machine. How to stop it? Go to instant state. There's an option called stop. Are you sure you want to stop the instance? Yes, the machine is stopped. Successfully stopping this particular machine. Close it. Refresh. Yes, the machine one is in stopping state. Give me a minute, it gets stopped. Whenever you want, again, you can select the machine. There's an option called start. You can start the machine. That's the concept. Stop the machine. Next day, you can start it again. Okay. If you want to remove the machine permanently, I don't want it permanently. I want to remove. There's an option called terminate. When you perform terminate, the machine will be completely removed from your AWS account and it will be permanently lost. I don't want to remove that permanently. I want to use this machine tomorrow. So that is the reason I have stopped the machine. We'll be starting the machine tomorrow, and then we'll be connecting to that particular Linux machine, and we'll be learning the Linux commands. So that's a plan for tomorrow. Today, we have learned the process of how to create a Linux environment on AWS. I can also show you Linux on my own laptop. So on my laptop, I have installed VMware. In the VMware also, I have Red Hat Linux. But I don't do it because we have to be familiar with cloud platform. I don't want to work it on my laptop. So that's the reason we have created on cloud. So what are you waiting for? Participants, especially new participants, create a new AWS account. Make sure your debit card or the credit card is enabled for international transactions. Okay. Make sure you do that. Please go ahead and create a new AWS account. It will take 12 hours for getting activated. Please, until it gets activated, please go ahead and create a new Linux machine and connect it to the Linux machine. I hope each and every point I'm very clear in explaining about today's session. As you know, every session is recorded. The session will be recorded, this particular notes and the steps to create a new AWS account, that PPT as well as PPT and the document, everything will be shared to you. Clear? So what's our plan tomorrow? What's our plan tomorrow? Tomorrow, completely we'll spending time on Linux. We all should be comfortable with Linux. Creating files, creating directories, managing files, managing very frequently used activities. You cannot ignore it. It's a very important, every session is very important. That's our plan for tomorrow's session. So any questions before closing? Please raise your hand. Any questions you want to ask before closing the today's session? Please raise your hand. Farhan, any more questions?
No more questions.
Okay.
I have already created a Linux machine. I have
Very
already
good.
AWS account.
Good. Thank you.
Hello,
Yes, Daniel.
Sunil. Instance of using putty, we can use Git bash only, no?
Yes, anything you use it. Okay. Git bash is also one example of a terminal. I'll also show you soon. Okay.
Okay.
I hope you have enjoyed the session. Stay curious to move to next session tomorrow, day 3, where we learn completely on Linux. Until then, have a good time. Thank you very much.